G'day, how you going? We're looking at a supermarket, not any supermarket, a cheap, like a discount supermarket called Spud Shed in Australia, Perth, Western Australia. So, sounds pretty cool to me. Sounds like something different, and we're just going to look through a walkthrough. It's a really long video. We'll only feature a little bit of it, so use a link down there in the description to check out the whole thing and watch their channel, that channel being City Walkthrough. So let's check this out, a little bit of it, and I'm anxious to see what it's like, how it's similar and how it's different. Right away, it's pretty different in the front. So it's got kind of like this walkway, almost reminds me of what a shopping mall would look like inside. It's got these like little businesses and this hallway kind of in front of the store. Now, of course, there's few locations in the U.S., depending on where it's at, where it might be like this. But the norm for a grocery store is you walk in and you're just, you know, you're right here. There is no this part in front. You're just right in the store. And some stores, like really big ones like Walmart, might have some businesses in the front of the store, but it's in the store. You cross into the store and then they're in the front wall. They're not out in this kind of lobby area. That doesn't exist for most stores here. So that's pretty interesting. This was taken in July of this year, so it's a few months behind. So keep that in mind with prices. I'm not going to look too far into that. That's interesting. That little corral he went through with the carts. I've never personally seen that at a grocery store here. So that's different. Usually you just grab your cart and walk right in. There's no gate like that. Got some walnuts. Usually got displays right in front like this, where they'll have either specials, seasonal stuff, discount stuff, what have you, right? This looks like maybe it's stuff that's on sale, as we can see the $6.99 save $3 type thing. Or maybe this is just, rotational items. We do have produce right there. That's cool. Ooh, and moving on to this, like some sort of, I don't know, some food aisle. Not necessarily snacks. We got like fried noodles, instant noodles, ramen noodles, that type of thing, I think. Ooh, and those Milo bars. Someone, we got those a couple times. I think it was last year, maybe. Regardless, we got them at some point during one of the mail times, or a couple of them, and I really haven't had a Milo product that's bad. Let's put it that way. Those were really good. Ambush Reese's. What the hell is that? I don't know. Are those oh, it says down here. Okay, it says General Mills Reese's Puffs, $9.99 AUD. That's expensive. Wow. Product of the USA. So I suppose it's imported, yeah? Like not made in Australia by the, General Mills, but rather legit one of our U.S. cereals imported there. I'm assuming that's what that deal is. Hence why it's a little more pricey. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these cereals. I'm really not a cereal person in general. I can't imagine these sell out there. I mean, I suppose there's some people that like them because they're just fun and colorful and different. But not many, I'm sure. Big Papa Pickle. There we go. That's a USA product as well. Pickle in a bag. That's from Wisconsin. I saw it on the back. There we go. Hell yeah. Tapatio pickles. I like that. That'd be fun to get every once in a while. Cool to see you can get them even at the Spud Shed. Hers. This is an American brand. So this must be sort of like a little bit international aisle, or maybe even just a full-on USA aisle. Not really sure, but it's pretty interesting to see. A little unexpected. Some cool products, too. Not just... Like, if it was just cereal, I would have been a little disappointed. But these are pretty cool, having the different chips and some of the regional things like the pickles and stuff. Yeah, that's made in the USA, the Hers. Carolina Reaper, I bet those are pretty hot. Interestingly enough, in this same section, we have this Maximus drink. I don't know if it's like a sports drink, like Powerade or Gatorade. I've never heard of it. So if that's in the USA, I've never seen it before. thinking it's not a USA product. So that's kind of funny. These are all different brands, like the Ziploc bags, cling wrap, that type of thing. So that's always just fun to see, right? It's not like a huge deal or anything. It's just fun to see the different packages and different brands that I'm used to. Passion fruit pulp, made in Western Australia. Wow. That's cool. You would not find that in my local store. That's for sure. Driscoll's. Those blueberries look exactly like the ones we buy. Yeah. Packaging and everything, although these are made in Australia. So of course they have a branch and an operation down there, as I believe they have one up here. Oh yeah, love me some grapes. Free fruit for kids. What? How does that work? It says free fruit for kids. This fruit is free for kids to eat while you shop. No way. So you can just have it on the go, like while you're shopping in the store? Literally? That's really neat, actually. Wow. It encourages a healthy snack, and it's free. How cool is that? I've never heard of that, personally. That's really neat and unexpected. What a cool concept. So I've skipped around. A lot of the produce looks good. Looks a little bit pricey, but I can't tell because it is Australian dollars. Which I know when you convert it to US, it's, you know, appears less in US. So I'm not too big on the prices. I know that fluctuates. And it can be, I know certain things are cheaper in Australia, and certain things are more expensive. I know it goes both ways, so. These avocados are really cheap, though. 3 for $5 in Aussie dollars. That is cheap. I would be interested. I am a huge avocado fan. Like, literally, I love avocado on anything. It's so good. These are actually, you know, grown in Australia, it says, so that's pretty cool. They look nice. Of course, these ones aren't ready yet. They're light green, right? They want to be a little darker and nice and soft and creamy inside once you are ready to eat them. So I know these aren't ready, but they look cool. They look like they're pretty good size. And it's cool to see, you know, grown in Australia. I would just love to have one. Right, see how it tastes, just because it's technically, you know, different. Whereas all the ones here, or most of them anyway, that I buy are, you know, grown in Mexico. So that'd be pretty cool to try. Some different fruits, right, that I'm used to, but just grown somewhere else. I think it'd be rather interesting. Of course, Australian grown. What are we looking at? Oranges. That's awesome. That would be fun. I love fresh oranges. Who doesn't, really? Any citrus fruits, I'm all aboard. Oh wow, look at that. Here's another major difference from a US store. I'm not used to this. You're probably thinking, what you don't have eggs? No, we have eggs. These eggs are just out on like a table. They're not in a fridge. So, of course, eggs here, I'm sure you've heard this before. Yeah, eggs here are in, you know, a refrigerated section. You got to open the door and get them out in the store. And then, of course, you got to put them in the fridge at home. So, that is really interesting. Again, I know that we've seen videos saying this before, that in a lot of other countries that you don't refrigerate the eggs because our eggs are vastly different, the way they're prepared and all that. So, yeah, it is very interesting to see that. They're just out and about right there. That is not how they would be displayed here in the U.S. Very, very interesting to see. Not much free-range chicken selection. I mean, I don't know if that was the only selection. And, of course, this is a different... Like I said, this is Spud Shed. This is like a discount store. I'm sure other stores might have more egg selection. It didn't look like that much selection there. Wow, I like the rice selection. It just doesn't go for all stores here. But most stores are going to have a lot smaller rice, like smaller bags of rice. There's not going to be many big bags like this. I love seeing just pallets of huge bags of rice there. You know, there are certain stores here that cover that, but not many. So that's pretty cool. Lots of different rice types. You know, lots of international brands and big bags of it. I think that's pretty cool. Big bags of flour. Not every store here covers these like that. It's gonna be a lot smaller versions, so that's pretty cool. Now the meats should be pretty interesting. They actually cover a lot of meats. Like I'm talking like 20-something minutes worth, which is awesome. Of course, I'm gonna dwindle that down a lot. So make sure, you know, if you watch the original video, there's some good coverage of like everything basically. But this is just pretty cool. You know, a little bit, of course, seeing the prices is always interesting. But I'm gonna dive less into that and more on just like seeing how it's packaged, seeing the different choices, which, you know, will vary a little bit, especially, you know, between US and Australia. Barbecue plum pork loin chops. Now, it's a little bit different. Honey soy pork belly strips. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, smoky barbecue pork steaks. Sounds pretty good. What's this? Applesauce. Product of Holland. Wow, there you go. That's different. I don't think I've ever seen that. Stubbs. This is a, that's American. I saw the Texas. I saw Texas on the back. Yeah, made in USA. That's interesting. Yeah, we see Stubbs everywhere. That's pretty cool. I know there's lots of barbecue products, of course, locally in Australia as well. I feel like that barbecue's, you know, very big deal in the U.S. and Australia alike, right? With their own flares, kind of. So that's pretty cool. For people to get both choices, though. Of course, we have lamb, tons of lamb choices. These are lamb racks. And this is going to be more hard to find in the U.S. You can find it. It's just not as common, right? You might have to go to an actual butcher or certain specialty stores. They're not going to have a ton of lamb out at, you know, like a more regular mainstream grocery store. It's just not as big here, which is always interesting to me, right? A lot of people here don't like it or don't want to try it for some reason. I mean, to each his own. I don't have a problem with lamb at all. I think it's pretty good. But this is definitely more lamb products than I've seen in a hot minute. That's for sure. Brioche burger buns. These are the bomb. I love brioche. Anything, man. Yeah, hot dog brioche. You just can't go wrong with brioche buns or any type of brioche bread, man. It's the best. It's one of my favorites. Mexican jalapeno sausages. That's interesting. They would just call that chorizo here. That's interesting. Beef and lamb sausages for breakfast. Irish pork sausages. Tons of sausage, different types and flavors. Ooh, Australian beef and beer sausages. I bet that's really good. I feel like that sounds super good, dude. Here we go. This is something different that you definitely won't find at my local grocery store. Here is kangaroo mince meat. Holy smokes. That is just bizarre. Wow. That is so different. 100%. That's cool. Nando's peri-peri sauce. I still haven't tried Nando's. I heard it's very, very popular in parts of Europe and especially the UK. And I think some people like Nando's in Australia. I don't know if it's like the #1 fast food place or restaurant. But I've heard of it. It's very like popular in other countries. It's super rare here in the U.S., although they do have them, and they do have some Nando's restaurants. That's the same company as the ones abroad. They do have a couple locations in the greater Chicagoland area, and so I would like to go to one and just try it out. And I see on their website the peri-peri sauce. Is that how you say it? It is, you know, one of their claim to fames or famous there. So, yeah, that's pretty cool to see. I'm pretty sure you don't find these in our sauce aisles. So that's got to be more of a, you know, an Australian thing here. You won't find that in the U.S. Yeah, made in South Africa. Aren't they from South Africa, that franchise? I believe they are. And the last section, we've skipped around a lot, by the way. The last section is seafood, which I'm not going to be good at comparing this, reacting to this, anything, just because I don't really eat seafood. So I couldn't tell you what most seafood sections in my local supermarket look like, just because I tend to avoid that area for the most part. So yeah, it's not something I eat a lot, not something I prefer, but that's pretty cool. They have a big section on that, and I'm sure there might be quite a few differences between this and some U.S. stores as well. But that's a good look at Spud Shed in Perth, Western Australia. Pretty cool, you know, seeing the discount store. If you would like, you know, from some of the prices you saw, you know, how much of a discount store is this? Are the prices really good? You know, what are some advantages of this store versus, say, Kohl's or Woolies or even like more of a local market? And then, of course, you know, what are some cons? If you would like to weigh in on if you have a Spud Shed near you and your opinion on shopping there in that kind of deal, I would love to hear about it. You know, here in the U.S., you're going to find franchises throughout the country that are way different. So it's going to be West Coast, you know, Southern, Northern, East Coast franchises that are all different and regional. So it's kind of hard to group U.S. stores as a whole, just like I'm sure Australian stores work the same way. But, you know, generally, at least in my experience, you'll find like Walmart and Target do sell groceries, and they're going to be kind of middle ground on prices, at pretty good selection. You know, your higher end stores, again, very regional, so it would vary, but, you know, you might find like Schnucks or Meijer or Albertsons, Kroger. They're going to be like little on the higher end of prices, you know, have some interesting products and such. And then, you know, your discount stores would be, I guess, comparable to Spud Shed or our version of it. And that would be, you know, Save-A-Lot is one. Aldi, of course, which I know the U.S. and Australia have Aldis, and they're always usually better prices. So that's pretty cool, too. But yeah, just an interesting look into a big store called Spud Shed in Australia that I've never heard of, because I have heard of Kohl's and Woolies, of course, from, you know, very generous people in this community we have on this channel that have sent us stuff from those stores, and I think it's super cool. And yeah, Spud Shed I never, you know, was really well versed in like I may have been in those other Aussie stores. So pretty cool to learn about. I hope you enjoyed this little virtual tour with me, and it will be linked in the description so you can watch the whole thing, as this is over an hour-long video, so there's just a plethora of stuff we did not see here. And yeah, make sure to check them out. Please throw a thumbs up on this video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to be part of this amazing community we do have here. And that's about it for this one, y'all. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker, and until next time, I'll catch you later.